My name is Swann. I'm a minister in Banbury Methodist Circuit, looking after 11 churches along with a colleague. The main focus in this area really is towards families. We've started Messy Church, starts off with a number of craft activities, a time of worship for around half an hour. We tend to use puppets. It's been such a good medium for reaching people. And then we share a meal together, which is a really good time to share in conversation. I get very excited when we're doing events on the outside or the edges of church. And I suppose that's partly to do with my background, but also that belief that that's where Jesus was. I was a coal miner for 13 years. I first started to feel a call when I was around 16 years of age, when my youth leader told me that I'd probably end up as a minister one day. I said no way at the time, but several years later, when I was working down the mines, I started to feel something niggling inside me. So I approached my minister at the time and I said, look, I don't feel that I should be standing at the front and spouting, but I should be where people are and meeting people where they are. I suppose being a coal miner, I had many conversations underground that probably wouldn't have come out in any other way. And it sort of highlighted to me that lots of people want to know about God. They just didn't want it made public. Over a number of years, so there were 3 friends of mine that died. One was a friend, we were both 12 years old at the time. He had a kidney complaint and died suddenly. And as I sat with a group of friends on the pavement on a cold, foggy night, they said, you go to church, you say a prayer. And so I did. And that was, I suppose, one of the early things. But then later on, a friend that I worked with, his wife got cancer. And within 2 or 3 months, she died. But I'd had a number of conversations with her in that time. I wish I could have had more. And it just made me think, we need to speak to people. We need to share this good news. And then a friend's dad committed suicide. And that feeling that maybe there could have been more. I could have spent more time talking to him about faith and God and Jesus and life. You know, so they were the drivers that moved me towards ministry. And so I did end up candidating for the diaconate. I was very confused because I actually got turned down for the diaconate. And yet this nagging calling inside of me just didn't go away. And so I ended up candidating again. And I was turned down again. And it was a minister friend who said, should you be looking at being a presbyter? My hopes for the future would be to have a church that's alive, a church that meets families where they are, a church that doesn't stay in the building, but a church that goes out. For anyone that's thinking about ministry, I would say just talk to other people, read your Bible, find the bits that are relevant to you, but don't leave it, because I've found out that God doesn't leave you. When He's put a call on your life, you need to pursue it. I used to feel that there was only one type of person that was called, and that was certainly educated, and something that I wasn't. That was something that I think held me back for a long time. But then when you look at Jesus and His calling the disciples, there was a whole variety of types of people. And God calls us all because He needs to reach all. So never be put off because you're not a particular thing. God calls anybody.